at 99.74.
The new law could be implemented within months. But what's China really trying to achieve? And why now? We spoke with a China analyst about how the effects of this law will be felt far beyond Hong Kong's borders.
Hong Kongers worry the arbitrary detention common in mainland China will soon become the new norm in Hong Kong.
Our biggest fear right now is Chinese government, or in fact, the Hong Kong government will use this new law in the name of national security to crack down on the opposition or any members in the society who they do not like.
Protests have resumed on the streets of Hong Kong. The U.S. has signaled it would sanction Chinese officials who help enforce the new law. Why is Beijing pushing the law at great risk of international backlash when it's already facing enormous international pressure for its handling of the virus? Qin Peng, a China affairs analyst and former corporate consultant in China, says it's because the communist regime's survival is on the line.
China's communist regime is facing enormous pressure both from the inside and the outside. The international community is trying to hold China accountable for the virus. On the inside, Chinese people are also demanding accountability, and the voices demanding freedom are rising. Its economy is going down, large numbers of companies could go bankrupt, and unemployment is going to rise. In this regard, there is a good chance of a civil uprising occurring in China.
He said in times like this, the most important thing for the CCP is to suppress any dissident voices, lest those voices inspire people to demand more freedom in mainland China, and that Hong Kong has become the elephant in the room. The Chinese regime has always seen Hong Kong as a base camp for pro-democracy anti-communist activities. Every year, Hong Kong holds the world's biggest gathering commemorating the Tiananmen Square massacre of 1989, the Chinese Communist Party's bloody crackdown on pro-democracy students. Religious minorities like Falun Gong that are persecuted in China continue to be active in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is also vocal in advocating for China's prisoners of conscience and human rights lawyers.
Right across the river from mainland China, there is a place that's in some ways independent and free and cannot be completely controlled by the regime. This is just a thorn in the side for the CCP. Because in the eyes of the CCP, national security means the security of the CCP, of the Chinese Communist Party. It's not the security of the Chinese people or the security of China as a country.
China's communist leader recently stressed that China needs to ensure stability in 6 areas, including basic living needs and food and energy security. Qin said the economic and trade slide in China has made Hong Kong less important for the CCP as a trade hub, but more a threat that triggers bigger change in China.
The CCP is basically giving up Hong Kong. It is allowing Hong Kong to be crushed, and then it can turn around and say to the people of Hong Kong, look, this is all because of your protests. It is all because of the U.S. sanctions that Hong Kong suffers. It can use this as propaganda.
Qin said the international community has not yet held China accountable in any significant way, even after years of Hong Kong's freedom being eroded by the CCP. But the stakes might be higher for the world this time.
Because in the past, protecting Hong Kong was just about Hong Kong and Americans' interests in Hong Kong. But right now, the meaning of Hong Kong has been raised to another level. People have realized that if the Chinese Communist Party gets its way in Hong Kong, then in the future, its hand will reach the entire world.